Are you tired of perfectionism holding back your creativity? Join me in this video as we say goodbye to perfection and embrace artistic freedom. And, of course, I'm going to create an art journal page. Welcome to Marian's Mixed Media. If you're new here, I'm Marian and today I'm starting another page in the art journaling workout series. Each page in this art journal is a video, and all videos are in the playlist called Art Journal Workout, and I will link them below. I'm going to play for about 30 minutes on a fresh page. The time is limited for a reason, so I cannot overthink things or leave it halfway, and I never have to come back and finish it later. So this was video 1 and this was video 2. And this will be for this video. And I choose my materials based on what I want to practice or what I'm in the mood for. And sometimes I have new products that I want to try out. Today I have a new product that I'm going to incorporate. So this video, I am surprised about myself. I have not that many materials I'm going to use. And let's see. I have some, this is left over from a project from black Kraft-Stock, some wildflowers. And I will list all the materials below if you want to see numbers and everything. I have some text. I did stamp this in advance. That is the from Holtz, the tiny text. And I did stamp 2 lines several times, and they are within the topic of today. And I stamped it with, this is my new favorite, First Fine Claire Portobello. It's like a little bit of a scorched timber as a permanent ink. And then I have this stamp set from Paperartsy. And I'm going to use this frame. Then I have embossing ink, because we're going to do some embossing. I have embossing powder, clear, and I have my new products. I have to be careful because I poked holes. I just did that, poked holes in the cap, so they're ready to use. There are infusions from Paperartsy. I just saw them in the store and I thought, let's play. And I did see a video on it, but I didn't do a lot with it right now. So it's going to be an adventure for me as well. And I didn't want to make a prototype or practice in advance for the video, because the art journaling is not about that. So you get what you get. So these are the materials. So let me clear them. And then we start with the fresh page, and I'm going to craft and talk. So let's see how that will work out, because I have a topic for this video. Gathering the materials that I want to use is the one preparation I'm doing for this video. And as I was thinking about making the video for the art journal page, I was thinking about what is the outline of what I want to do. So what I want to do is I want to make something in the center. And I know I wanted to play with the infusions with these are powdered colors. They react with water. And I thought this will like kind of be, if you want to give it a first try, it will be nice to work in the center, so you can see what it's will become instead of working on the edges. So that's what I want to do. I want to do something in the center. And I also wanted to practice some techniques, and that the one thing is working with kind of a resist. So I want to stamp. I knew I wanted to stamp something and emboss it with Clear Embossing Ink, and then use my infusions, so that the stamp will become clear once you use the infusion. So that's something I didn't do I think I didn't do that at all. Maybe once, I don't know. I have no idea. I had some of these wildflowers left from a project that would be an easy thing to, and it's like beautiful in itself, you know, you cannot really mess up with something so pretty. And I thought, let's do a stamp and then use the infusions and use some flowers and text. So quite simple, but you know, I want to practice the technique, so I want to focus on that more than the outcome. And then we already have a bridge to the topic, because you saw the title of the video, of course, and it's all about perfectionism. And I was inspired by a comment on one of my videos from someone who mentioned it, and I was thinking, yes, of course I am familiar with perfectionism, and many crafters, artists have blocks or obstacles, and perfectionism is really something you hear about a lot. So it is about something like not being satisfied with results. So I looked it up on the internet, and it said perfectionism can be described as a constant striving to achieve extremely high standards that are very demanding of the individual. And then it also said it may be considered unreasonable to someone else in your world. Well, of course, maybe this rings for you like, yes. In between, I'm going to do some crafting and come back to the subject. I want to do this frame. It's a really strange frame, because it's kind of, at first thought it was broken, but it isn't. I'm just going to lay it kind of straight using two of my platforms on it. But first, so then it's okay. I hope this will work. Okay. And because first I think I need to do this. So that's that the embossing powder will not stick everywhere, and I don't want that. So it's just putting this back in the plastic bag. And then I have this embossing ink pad, and I don't use this very often. So if it looks like a bit clumsy in the video, it's just because, well, I need to practice. That's what this video is all about, and you can watch me practicing. I think I want to do it like a vertical. Yes, let's do that. I think that will be nice with flowers, because they're quite long. So I'm just going to, and you cannot see it, so it's really, that's a bit annoying that you cannot see how well it is, well, not inked, but embossed. So where were we with the perfectionism? All right, we did a definition. I read that, I wrote it down because I looked it up on the internet. And there's of course also a positive side to perfection, because it's you're very driven, and you're driven to a goal and trying out, like in the crafting world, trying out new products and techniques, and because you are striving for something, and that's not really a bad thing, of course. But it's there's a really big downside to the perfectionism, and that it gives a lot of stress. And it's kind of the opposites, as creativity is mostly seen as a therapeutic thing and relaxing to do. So that's kind of, you know, the opposites of all right, I need a little bit concentration. I hope it won't fall off. And then not perfectly in the middle, but kind of in the middle. And then just press. So I don't know if you like, do you like embossing? I do like it. I use it a lot like this. I also clear embossed it. A lot of stamping. If I stamp, I immediately throw some clear embossing ink over it. So when I ink this, the words will remain clear. So, and except if you don't want it to, then you don't. But I think this will be, now lifting it. Okay, so far so good. I have a wet wipe here, and I think you like have to clean the stamp right away. A little bit more, it's not that wet anymore. Oh, I can see that it's wet from the stamp, so that's a good sign. Okay. So let's move this out of the way. I don't need that anymore. And put this to the side so I can concentrate on this. So I have a tray. I'm now using a tray for embossing. I don't know how it will be with a page. Will that fit? Not really. So maybe I have to use a sheet of paper. Let me get a sheet of paper, so I'm not entirely prepared. Just get one out of my printer. Okay. Let's use, how am I going to do this? Right. Well, let's put the embossing powder on and then worry about how getting it off. Just now I'm seeing where I need to, oh, that was like a blob. It would be nice if you have like a more like a sprinkle lid, so you can, or a shaker, or how do you call that? Okay, so now I have this on, and so I don't know if you recognize this. Do you have a perfectionism? Because I think you can have it to in several degrees, like from very bad to a little bit maybe, and but it's not nice if it is in that degree that it gives you stress, because crafting is of course such a great thing to do, and you want to, if you are creative, you want to express it. So it would be very a shame if that is something that will hold you back from it. So while I'm talking, I'm kind of chaotically. That's probably a very good way to do this. But it's difficult because the page is in the journal, and this is the first time really I embossed a page in a journal. Mostly there are small items I can glue on the page. Okay. But you know, riding a bike well, in Holland, it's a very natural thing to own a bike. It's very uncommon that people don't have a bike, and I think that's not everywhere in the world. It is like that. So, but we often say like riding a bike, you won't learn that. Like you have to fall off a few times before you learn it. So I think that's also true with the crafting, and that's why it's difficult if you have perfectionism, I think, because you want to do it right away. So I'm going to put that in the box. So because then it feels safe for me. Then if I like laugh or something, that I won't like blow it all over my desk. Okay, it is safe in the tray. So this can just be, and I'm going to, of course, emboss it. And well, and I would like it if you would comment or react how it's for you, and maybe how did you deal with it, or did you not deal with it? That can also be the case, because what if you are crafting something and it is like not beautiful? You get what I mean? I'm doing like the air quotes. That's not for you. It's your opinion that what you made, that it's not beautiful. What would you do then? You know, what would that do with you? And that's interesting. I always find these things interesting to figure out. And I must say, I did experience it, perfectionism, and but I love being creative so much that if something is holding me back, I'm going to investigate it, because that's not what I want. So what I did, because I wanted to say, you can overcome it, you can work on it, and you can make it less, make it workable, because I did. And I decided it was a very long time ago, and I figured out that when I said that I made something and I thought, it's more like an 8, it's not a 10, that people around me said, oh, that's a 10. So for that, always a thing that I say to myself, it's an 8, it is in fact a 10. So my 8 is now a 10. So when I make something and I think this is an 8, then I know that's a 10 in the general speaking. And I also started to listen to the people around me, and asking about opinions, about what do they think about some things. It can be very vulnerable, but you can choose who to ask, of course, and ask to be gentle. But mostly, if you're creative, you're always making something. People generally admire creativity and wish they could do it or something. So it is a fact of which standards do you hold it on. And if you ask more opinions from people, then you can adjust your own, because it's so out of balance what other people say and what you say about what you made. So, you know, these things, you have to do it over again, but it will help. And there's something else that will help, but I need to craft. Yes, crafting and talking. Well, not like chit-chatting, that's not difficult. But talking about like a more important subjects, well, maybe I also need to practice that. But I'm going to first do a little bit more about the crafting. So I'm going to heat set a heat tool on it, and I think I will cut this out of the video because it's only noisy, and I am halfway through the embossing, and the effect is so nicely to see. So I want to show you, if you have not have that many experience with the clear embossing, and you ask yourself, when do you know that it's done, instead of checking it and touching it and then destroying destroying it. And you can see here the bottom part, that's done. So you see it's really shimmery, and the top, the left corner top, you see it's very matte and powdery. You can also, you cannot see it on the camera, but I can see that it's just like a powdery layer, and it looks like it's silver colored, but it's just the shine from the light. So I'm going to finish it, and then we're going to play with the infusions. So now it's time to get some attention to the crafting, and I'm very looking forward to playing with the infusions. I have 3 colors. I just thought, let's choose some to experiment with, and if I like it I can buy some more. And my previous page was a lot of blue, so I think that I will leave the, well, it's more like a teal or something. I leave that here, and I'm very looking forward to the olive tree. It is strange that it's olive because it doesn't look green at all, so that makes me only more curious to see what will happen with this. So I have my frame here, and I think I'm going to give a little bit of moisture to the page, so I don't, because these are dry, it's a dry powder, so it will disperse too much on the page, I think, if I just put it on dry. So let's mist it, and then I'm going to just put it inside of the frame. Just there's a little hole here. I heard that you had to make that for, yeah, it looks green when it's hitting the paper. Already think it's lovely. this is nothing. Well, let's just leave it at this. I can always add more, and now add some water, because then I think things will happen, hopefully. So there are a lot of different colors together that make the green, and they all have kind of a different time period into developing the color. So that's why it can be very interesting. It needs a lot of water, I think. Let's run it. And this frame is interesting because there are some pathways of how you say it, that the water can go through. See what kind of different colors are in this bottle. How lovely. And I'm just like very carefully, maybe being too careful, but it's just want to see the effect. So first it is just this, and then how cool is this? This is really playing. Can just do this and, well, have your evening filled or your afternoon. Okay, so I think this is like the olive color, but I see just blue here, and I want to leave it. I just don't want to disturb that beautiful color. but of course I do want to get something more happening. Maybe I do want to do something outside of this frame. Let's see. There's really nice blues in it. Okay. I don't know if this paper is suitable, or if you need to use a specific kind of paper for this. Maybe I'm being too careful with the powder. Let's put some more on and see what happens. Really dark. This is a nice, really nice color. It is on the grungy dark side, but that's okay. I think, should I dry it and then see how it looks like when it's dried and if it needs any more? Well, I do want to have that frame, because now it's like a really wide thing. I think I want something happening in the frame, so let's do that. And then I think it's time to, so I'm going to just put the powder in the frame, because there are some openings. Looks better already. So I think I'm going to dry this, and then let's come back and see if it needs some more, because I have to be careful about the time. And let's see if this is enough. Enough color. I don't know if everything was visible. I was so much paying attention to my page. Maybe I've gone out of frame a few times, but you know what I was doing. What do you think so far? I love these bits with the blue. The blue here is gone because of all the water spraying. Yes, I'm going to dry it and let's see how it will turn out. It is nice and dry, and when it dries the color is getting a little bit more lighter, but it is still a dark color. But see how interesting this looks. And I must say that I find this bit here more interesting than within the frame. It's within the frame it's more solid. So I wished I had more like this going on in the frame, but I think maybe you need a watercolor brush, or maybe a brush and water instead of a spray, because then it just will go everywhere. So I need more practice, more playing time. But can I leave this alone? Yes, I can. I will leave it like this because I do think this color is really beautiful. So I'm going to go to the next phase. That is, I want to put some flowers on it and a text. And I think I saw two lines in the tiny text stamps. Life doesn't have to be perfect to be wonderful, and imperfections make life interesting. So these are two really nice lines to that will fit this video. I think I'm going for this one because it's shorter, and I think I want to have it like here. I think could be, but this is measurement wise better than this really long one. So I'm certainly going to keep this. And I thought of the blues. I have some wetted wood. Let's stain it a little bit with the wetted wood, so it has some color, but not all, just a bit. Now I'm going to, oh, it's not exactly like this, but that doesn't matter. And then just give it a little bit of color. And then I'm going to cut them and choose the one I like the most. So I'm going to dry this and cut it. So I thought, let's put on some Uncharted Mariner. I forgot I had this one. And it became really blue. Look at this. It is really blue. And maybe a bit too blue. But I can etch this with fray burlap. And I think that it will be okay then. Let's see. So then it's not only white and blue, but it has some of the brown, gray, green color in it. Yes. I think this will be very lovely. And to finish up a little bit about the topic and the conversation about having everything, wanting everything perfect, and that you can like train yourself to overcome this. So it needs some dedication and some input. But you know what I'm doing here, the art journaling, just doing this for half an hour, and I know I cannot keep adding layers because I don't have time. So I have to be satisfied with this, and then it's just the next page and try again, you know. And then I think if you fill this journal and then you look back, you have a totally different opinion about what you made, and you can more see it as a process of experimenting and growing in your techniques and your crafts. So I think art journaling is a very good practice to get over this perfectionism, to train yourself in it. So I don't think you will get 100% not perfect. It is just it is like who you are, or you know, it is and I think it's good to be driven, and I am too. If something really interests me, I can be very driven. But as in everything, if you overdo it, it's just not that good for you. So let's see how we can arrange those flowers. We can put a lot in them or just a few. I don't know. Let's see. This is already really lovely. You could be done like this, I think. You can try to add more and see if then it will give you more. Still great. And this is one of the die cuts I really like, this one. And if I put this one in, what do we think? I like this. And do we want 2 of these? Little, I always say lavender. I don't know if it's lavender. I don't think so, but it looks like it. But maybe then a little bit different in height. I think this will be... What do you think? I think let's do this. Then the interesting part will be to glue it. Let's see. Then I need, let's clear the cutting mat. Let's get that out of the way and then have these. Now it's a very, very hot day here in the Netherlands. We had a lot of rain and cold. And then, you know, when it gets hot, then it's like within 2 days, it's like a total different climate, and it's such an adjustment. And you know, that's why we Dutch always complain about the weather, because it's always so, we can't get used to it. It's like rain, 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 and then the sun shines, but then it gets really hot, and then you're like... So when I'm using my heating tool, it's kind of too much, you know, too much heat here. So after this page, I'm going to cool down a little bit and yeah, I don't know how it is in other countries, but I think here we are very known about complaining about the weather. I don't even know how long I want this one. Do I want to cut a bit off? Let's do not any glue on the bottom and I can cut it. Let's see. Put this under. Like this. And I just did sand a little bit the leaves of the flower to give it a little, so it's not plainly black, because this is the Kraft-Stock from Tim Holtz. I think I love this length of the flower. Yeah, I think I'm going to just glue that. And then I think I wanted this under and then this one over. These flowers are very beautiful, but gluing is a little bit of a precise job. Yeah, only this one I want to cut a bit smaller, shorter, I must say. So like this, and put one of these leaves off. One or two. Just, you know, because I want to. And these are very challenging to glue. So you need kind of a small tip, or you can use a brush. I'm curious if I'm staying within the half hour because of all the talking. You know, my channel is doing really well, and I'm kind of, I believe right now about 50 subscribers shy of the 1K, so that's kind of a milestone, right? I don't know why, it is just is. It doesn't change a lot, but you don't get paid if you get 1,000 subscribers, so that's not really something, but it is kind of course a achievement, let's put it at that. And I would love to grow this channel and maybe do something like Patreon, or I think this art journaling would maybe be more fitting there. Then you can well show each other your work, and because I would love to see work of you. People that don't have a YouTube channel. I'm very curious. And then you can send each other pictures, and then it stays within a small group. I would love that. Let's see. But that's now for the future. I first want to really focus on this channel, because, you know, it's more work than you think. And it's not that, maybe sometimes it looks easy, but it isn't. But I do like doing this. So let's see if I put this on here. Oh, I wanted to sand this, or I can do it when it's glued. I wanted to sand the leaves a little bit, the big leaves. Well, let's first do this. Let's see how I want it. Do I want it close by? I think I like this spot. I didn't even think about... No, I just like this spot. I don't know. It's just kind of calls. A bit higher. So I am moving it, and then I'm looking at my laptop screen, because I have filming with my camera, with my phone, and then I'm also seeing it on my laptop, so I can see if I'm filming it right. But then I have a bigger picture to look at it. So this is, yes, I like it there. So I'm going to glue it. Yeah, there. Yeah. How about that? And then some, and I think it will also be really nice to do some splattering on it. And I think in white, what do you think? Then I need to get some white paint out. I usually not into splattering projects, but because it's kind of closed up, I would love to have more white spots, like more like a watercolor. And okay, this is okay. Let's stop. Now I need to stop. And I allow myself to do the splattering, and then that's it. So I have my splatter brush here. I need to get the paints. I have to reach behind me for the white paint. I just need not too much. It's very difficult to splatter with white. I saw someone doing it in gold splatters, but I don't know if this will stand out. Well, let's see what this will give. That's very lovely. It's really great. Stop. But this will, the splattering will absorb in the paper, so it will not be white. You can already see it here, but it is interesting. And I think maybe some more in the frame, then it gives the openings that I wanted. Okay, now stop. I think my half an hour is already gone. I don't even want to see how much I went over time. So I would love to hear your comments, sure, about the video, but also about the topic we discussed. And well, do you experience any obstacles in your creativity, or is it just flowing with you? So I'm very curious to know. So leave me a comment. I will always answer you. And this is the end result. Splatters, I'm not drying out white, as you can see here, but it gives some more interesting, like, little crinkles here. So I do love that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it is not too perfect. And if you don't want to miss out on this new series, the Art Journaling Workout series, then if you don't have already, please subscribe and put your notifications on so you get the message that there's a new video up. And let's do this artistic adventure together. So thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.